14 patients, 0 surgeries, 0 radiation, 0 chemotherapy, and 100% of their tumors completely gone. When this story first broke, doctors called it the first time in the history of cancer this had ever happened. 4 years later, the update just dropped, and it might be even bigger than the original miracle. Rewind to 2022. CNN's Erin Burnett connects live with Dr. Andrea Cercek, an oncologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, in a video interview broadcast to millions, and what she reveals stops the entire medical world in its tracks. Her team had just run a small trial on 14 patients with rectal cancer. Each one received an immunotherapy drug called Dostarlimab, an intravenous infusion once every 3 weeks for 6 months. No cutting, no burning, no poisoning healthy cells along with the cancerous ones, just the immune system unlocked and let loose. And then the doctors checked. Physical exams, endoscopy, PET scans, MRI scans. Every single method on every single patient came back the same way. Nothing. The tumors were gone. Dr. Cercek herself said it best. Tumors just vanished. Her colleague on the study, Dr. Luis Diaz, put it even more bluntly, telling reporters he believed this was the first time in the history of cancer this had ever been seen. Here's why it worked. These 14 patients shared a rare genetic quirk called mismatch repair deficiency. Their cancer cells couldn't repair their own DNA damage, which meant once the immune system was switched on, it saw the cancer clearly and tore it apart. Dr. Cercek called it exactly what cancer doctors dream about. Now here's where most health stories die. A promising headline, a wave of excitement, and then silence because the follow-up never comes. Not this one. By 2024, MSK reported 42 patients had completed treatment, all 42. No evidence of disease in every single one. The results held. This wasn't a fluke with 14 lucky patients. It was repeating itself, patient after patient after patient. And the follow-up data got even more remarkable. Doctors tracked these patients for a median of almost 18 months, watching to see if the cancer would creep back the way it so often does. It didn't. Sustained complete response at 12 months in the majority who were tracked that long. No patient required chemotherapy. No patient required radiation. No patient required surgery. 2 years out, the responses were holding. Now let's talk about what just happened, because this is why we're making this video today. Just this month, July 2026, GSK, the pharmaceutical company behind Dostarlimab, dropped a massive update, a brand new trial called AZUR1, this time enrolling 154 patients, more than 10 times the size of the original study that made headlines. And the results, once again, hit the primary goal the researchers were chasing, a meaningful and sustained complete response rate a full year after treatment. But here's the sentence that should make you sit up. This data is now being submitted to health authorities for regulatory review, including accelerated review in the United States. That means this drug isn't just a fascinating research story anymore. It is on a real, formal pathway toward becoming an approved standard treatment. GSK is calling it the potential first immunotherapy capable of eliminating the need for chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery in some patients. Read that again. Eliminating the need, not reducing, eliminating. Now, before you get too far ahead of yourself, here's the important part almost nobody puts in the headline. This treatment isn't for everyone with rectal cancer. It only works for patients with that specific genetic mutation, mismatch repair deficiency, which shows up in a relatively small slice of cases. Researchers themselves have been careful, calling it too early to say cure, and stressing this needs to keep being studied at scale. But 4 years ago, that scale was 14 people. Today, it's over 200 across multiple trials, all pointing in the exact same direction. This is what real medical progress looks like. Not a miracle cure headline that vanishes a week later, but a slow, steady, repeated, and now regulator-reviewed climb from 14 patients to over 200, from a stunning anecdote to a treatment potentially heading toward FDA approval. If you or someone you love is ever facing a rectal cancer diagnosis, this is a name worth knowing, Dostarlimab, and a question worth asking your doctor: does my tumor carry this mutation? If this story gave you real hope today, hit that like button so more people can find it, and subscribe so you never miss the next breakthrough before it hits the mainstream news.